one, I want to use this podcast to manipulate my husband about sound bowls and frequencies and energy and spiritual healing and all the things, and you're the perfect person.
Well, let me be honest, Lauren. That sounded a little bit different than when you play them.
I was just going to say number 2 is that I clearly don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
No, Lauren's is more of a loud bang that really jars me and stresses me out, right?
But 3, and this is the most important thing. I feel energy like everyone does. And I feel like our world right now at this moment is in a low frequency.
Yeah.
And maybe it's high frequency. I don't know which side it is. It's in a weird frequency and it needs more of what you just did. Can you describe what I'm trying to say?
I think you're absolutely right. And I think, you know, the more that all of us can come together in different ways and raise our frequencies, the better. We're going to help everybody. So whatever is drawing in a low frequency, if we can balance that out by doing our meditations, doing our sound healing, bringing positive vibrations into the world, we can actually, you know, it sounds kind of cliche, but we can heal the world and we can change what's truly going on, because it's all energy, right? It is all frequency, it's all vibrations. So what can we do to raise it? And there are so many people at the same time, you know, as there's these negative energies and vibrations, and I can feel it. I walk around and I feel it. I go to certain places and I'm like, get me out of here. Like, I'll be spraying my Palo Santo. I'll get home at night. Like, I need to wash myself with milk. There's all these sorts of little things that you can do. But I also feel the good energy, you know, and I'm being drawn to all of these amazing people with these positive, you know, that I feel like are on the same level as me. So there's this dichotomy of like, how do we get more of this good energy and this good frequency around us? So I think the more that we play this sound healing and meditate together as a collective and spread positive energy and love as well, the better the world is going to be.
Can you pinpoint something in your childhood that put you on the trajectory that you're on? Is there something that happened when you were little or maybe a teenager where you're like, you had sort of like this epiphany and was like, oh my God, I need to like lean more into this?
You know, I think I was really lucky as a little girl. I grew up on a beautiful farm surrounded by nature. And I think just having that connection to the earth has always given me that kind of connection to energy, right? Because I was surrounded by so much nature, animals. So I had this open, loving view of the world that was somewhat protected in a way. And I'd get up in the morning, I'd be like, oh, listen to the birds. You know, my mother still sends me every morning videos of the garden with the birds. And I've got to tell you, it wakes me up in such a good way. So to have that and to see the flowers and to see the trees, it's very simple, but it's the same thing. Getting out into nature will raise your vibration. So if you have a crappy day, you feel awful, I take my shoes off. Even when I'm in a big city, I find a small park or even a nature strip, right? Take my shoes off, get my feet in the grass. I feel so much better because you're drawing in that natural, like Mother Nature grounding energy. And it actually takes out the negative neurons from your body back into the earth, and you're drawing out positive energy.
So when you were little, you would get out in nature. Were you attracted to spirituality? Like what were some little things that you did?
Subconsciously, I thought I was fairy back then. I ran around.
Well, you are. With the sound bowls?
I never wore shoes. As a kid. I still hate wearing shoes. I mean, I'm in high heels today, out of my sneakers, actually in some shoes. But I really do. You know, I think that innocence we need to find again, because we're so, you know, I choose not to watch the news or television because I think that brings in a lot of negativity to us, which also lowers our vibration, right? It brings us down. You know, I was getting my nails done the other day and it was just negative after negative after negative. I'm like, hi, do you mind switching that off? And they're like, oh, I'm so happy you asked that, because the people in there are like, everybody wants to watch it. I'm like, let's put on Disney, if anything, you know. I mean, obviously I educate myself. I prefer to read things because you want to know what's going on in the world. But I think, like live a little, what makes you happy, you know, getting outside. I loved doing that as a kid. I'd think I was a mermaid and a fairy. And, sometimes it's nice to do those things again still.
That is so funny that you just said the nail salon, because I do not watch the news. I don't let it in my ether. I don't scroll on Instagram, on Facebook. I deleted it off my phone. I don't want it anywhere around me.
Yeah.
But there is one place that I cannot get rid of the news, and I have to go, or else I look like Claus. And that's the nail salon.
What the hell are they doing in the nail salon? Why
They
got the news
play
on?
the news, and my nail salon has 10 TVs. So you're surrounded by it. So I got noise canceling headphones, but you could still see it.
I know.
And
It's the
says
visual.
COVID.
It's the visual.
And every time I fucking go there, my cortisol is out of control.
Oh, that's what was happening to me. I started to feel the stress, the anxiety, and I was switching off. I'm like, I can do this. I can switch off. I'm like, you know what? I can't. I'm like, turn this shit off. And I asked them, and everybody else was happy too, because people are sick of it. It's in our faces all day long. Where's the positive news? Because there's so many good things that are happening and we never hear about it.
Nothing. You never hear about anything positive.
No, we need to celebrate this.
I have a great nail girl that has amazing energy in LA that can come to your house.
Amazing.
So you can ground your
Let's
feet
share
while you're
her.
getting... That's what I would do if I was in LA. I'm in, obviously, Austin. I haven't found anyone. Shout out if anyone knows anyone. You should have Queenie come to your house.
Oh, I love that.
Put your feet on the grass. Put your meditation music on. Play your sound bowls and get a manicure.
That sounds like a dream.
Play your sound bowls with your toe. Okay, so you obviously grew up in Australia.
Yes.
What are the differences?
How could you tell, Lauren?
Her beautiful accent and her energy.
Try not to
I
lose it.
love Australians' energies. What are the differences, the fundamental differences between America and Australia when it comes to wellness?
That's interesting. I haven't been home in a while. Excited to try and get home. I feel like in
It's
Australia,
wild over there right now.
it's wild.
Yeah.
I remember Mum always said to me, if the world gets crazy, you can always come home to Australia. Not sure right
Maybe
now.
not.
In Australia, we were really lucky. I grew up so healthy. Like we had access to all of the fresh fruit, the vegetables. And then as I was starting to grow up, when I got to about 15, 16, the American market really hit us with McDonald's, KFC. And that's when you started to see the children, obesity kicking in for us. Whereas you didn't see that when I was a kid at school. The kids were really... they were healthy because we were given, I used to get sent to school with salad sandwiches, healthy things that Mum would make, fresh fruit. And then it shifted because we started to catch on to the American market. And I think we're influenced more and more. But the basis of Australia still really is healthy. We have good messages, especially with sunscreen as well. It's such an important message to stay out of the sun for our skin, just getting outdoors, the environment there. And I see a lot of similarities between places like LA, Florida. I've traveled quite a lot. And that's kind of what made me fall in love with California, because it was very similar to Australia in many ways. But there are cultural differences too. I think everywhere you travel in the world, you embrace the things you love, and there's always going to be something different. So I think I'm still trying to figure it out. I've been here 15 years. I love it here, but everything's changing around the world.
My girlfriend Faith said the same thing. She said California does have similarities.
It feels I set foot in California 15 years ago on a 2-week holiday. No reason to stay, but I'm like, this feels like home.
So what did you do when you decided to move here? What did that look like? You went on your 2-week holiday, and then what?
I finished college. I came here on my 2-week holiday, and I'm like, I really like it here. I was with some girlfriends. They were going home. I'm like, I'm just going to stay for my 90 days. And then I was coming back and forth and back and forth. And my dad said to me, he's like, what are you doing? You need to come home and figure life out. Or if you stay there, you're on your own. It's a different world out there. And I'm like, I'm going to figure it out. And I did, and it was hard work. Immigration, I'm now a US citizen, which is the proudest day of my life, the day I saw in. I'm dual. And cut to 15 years later, I've built a business in wellness here. And I'm so proud to be American and Australian. Both.
How did your wellness journey start? What was the thing that started it off and kicked it? Meaning maybe educational. How did you get into it when you came to California? Did you start a business immediately?
No, it's so funny. in Australia, I was really healthy when I was little. And then I discovered KFC, hot and spicy. And I was addicted. I mean, I got so into the junk food. I would wake, and I have a sweet tooth. So I would literally eat candy for breakfast and just start living off like French fries, all those sorts of things. Moved to America and I was the same. I was just like, give me anything that wasn't healthy for me, not real food. So I got on this kind of spiral, same thing, going out, drinking, partying, new city. Oh, this is fun. We didn't have this.
Just really let it go.
Oh, yeah, really letting it go. And I remember everybody kept telling me, you need yoga. I'm like, oh, I couldn't think of anything worse than doing yoga, sitting still and meditating. It just wasn't me at the time. And a girlfriend took me up Runyon Canyon, and I could not get up Runyon at the time. I didn't look unhealthy, but internally I was unhealthy.
Like from like a cardiovascular?
Yeah, I was dying. And I'm like, wow, this is not good. I'm like early 20s, So 2 friends actually got me to a yoga class. Like, come on, it's really fun. I'm like, okay. So I begrudgingly went to this yoga class and it was super cool. They played hip hop, like old rock and roll, dance music. I'm like, this is yoga?
You thought it was going to be like this
very hippie. Yeah. I'm like, wow, this is super fun. So we moved our bodies, we sweat. And then at the end, I found this stillness and I'm like, oh, this is yoga. This is I can do this, So it was a facilitating way to still find that stillness of yoga. So I kind of got addicted then and there. And I started going once a day, twice a day. When you get addicted to something like KFC, you get addicted, yoga. So then, I was going all the time and I decided I want to learn more. So I did a teacher training solely for myself and it really kicked off my journey. Once you start moving your body, you want to eat better. Everything just happens. And what I was doing on the mat came off the mat into everything I did. And then after I did my teacher training, people were like, can you teach us for fun? My first class I taught was on a nightclub floor. I was a waitress at a club and I taught the busboys, the girls that were the waitresses, the managers of the club. It was literally yoga mats on a club floor. Like, that was my first class.
That is so
proud
cool.
of that.
And then you go from that to teaching Rosie Huntington, Wheatley, a ton of celebrities, influencers, all these different things. Which
you got to start somewhere.
Wild.
You got to start somewhere.
What do you think the importance of slowing down is right now? Like, I feel like you're so good at that with yoga, your intentions, your morning routine, your sound bowls. What is the importance of that?
It is my ultimate. And I think more and more people are craving it now. Everybody used to be like, Barry's boot camp, what can we do to have more energy? Like nonstop. It was very aggressive. Now everyone's like, I'm just worn out. I'm tired. What can I do to love and care for myself? And I listen to myself, right? I'm intuitive. If I'm tired, I'm not going to work out. I'm going to do something that makes me feel better, and that's stretch. And I'm not going to put on weight or, lose muscle from skipping a couple of workouts. It's not like that. Everybody gets so hooked up on if I miss this, if I miss that. You're going to benefit yourself more by going to bed early, getting a couple of hours extra sleep, by just sitting, reading a book, meditating, slowing down. It's mental health. We've been on such a wired pace for the past couple of years. I mean, for the past, who can remember when?
I don't think I've ever not been on a wired pace.
And that's the thing,
I'm actually not joking.
It's true.
Yeah.
We've finally found a time in our lives where we need to slow down, and we were forced to during COVID, right? And we're like, oh, okay, this is what it looks like and this is what it feels like. And now you see the benefits.
I think it's one of the reasons why so many people had such a rough time with COVID, right? Is because for the first time in many people's lives, you actually had to sit with yourself and with your own thoughts,
absolutely.
right? And there was nothing to do and nowhere to go.
Right. And that can be really scary.
No, I think it's terrifying for a lot. I think most people would rather go and face the world than face themselves.
Well, that's why we are nonstop, right? Mm-hmm. And I can put my hand up and say I was one of the worst at this. I throw myself into work. I love what I do, but I would stay up until 2 a.m., 3 a.m. working because I didn't want to face, stresses or broken relationships or just things like that. So I'm like, I love my work. I'll just work go to bed, get up, work, or rearrange my house. You know, I'm notorious for like going through drawers. And one of my girlfriends is like, can't you just relax and watch a movie? I'm like, no. Now, yes. It's like my happy place is finding time for me to slow down. And, you know, it takes practice. You can't just get it at the click of a finger. It's not easy. It's not easy to sit and meditate, and you don't need to sit for an hour. And I think that's what people misunderstand with meditation and slowing down. Do what you can, 5 minutes, you know. I have days where I don't have time to get up in the morning and do my morning routine, and I don't hold it against myself, but maybe in the afternoon I'll find a couple of minutes, and that's better than nothing. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't hold things against yourself. Just do what you can, appreciate and respect what time you can give yourself. And then when you have more time, do that.
That's so timely that you said that. I was listening to James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, on Ed Milet's podcast, which is a great episode. And he said that the most successful people he's ever met in his entire life are the ones that create a habit that is 2 minutes. And they don't try to do this like, I'm going to go for a 2-hour run and I'm going to start the habit tomorrow. There's this guy that lost 100 pounds, and what he did is he said, I'm going to commit to 5 minutes in the gym every single day.
Yeah.
And so he would go to the gym for 5 minutes every single day for 3 months because he was practicing the art of showing up.
That's it.
It wasn't even working out. It was showing up. Yeah. And I think that we overwhelm ourselves. I do this too. I'll be like, I need to meditate for 30 minutes. Yeah. Like, sometimes you could just say, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes. I'm going to take a freezing cold shower for a minute instead of 3 minutes. You're so right about that.
And, you know, when we hold things against ourselves, we feel bad, right? And then that's an emotion thing. When we have bad emotions towards ourselves, we hold on to them. So you're holding on to these negative emotions in your body. It causes tension, stress. That causes a whole bunch of other things. We don't want to do that. So like you say, 5 minutes, 2 minutes here and there. I don't, and I'm totally honest about it, I don't have a long meditation practice. I don't do yoga every day. I actually haven't done it a lot lately. You know what I have done? I did pigeon pose yesterday because I sat on a plane for a couple of hours. My back hurt. So I did a pigeon pose today.
Is pigeon pose like a sex move? What's
I mean, you can make it a sex move if you want to.
What's a pigeon pose?
Pigeon pose is that hip one where you can. So I did it in bed.
You lean forward, right?
Can I multitask and have sex while I'm in pigeon pose doing a yoga?
100%. He can get in on the side.
Great.
What if I'm in pigeon?
I don't know about you in pigeon.
What's the
you
one
know what
that
though? You got to leave her there for at least 2 to 5 minutes. So then
are you going to be able to last 2 to 5 minutes?
I can stretch it out.
I don't know.
But you're so right. I think like people make this mistake in every area of life where they set these huge goals. Right. And then they miss the goal because it's so big, and then they get down on themselves.
And they give up.
Yeah, they give up, right? Yeah. It's like, even in like people come like say take a podcast, for example, like doing what we do here. Like, I want to be, I want to have a million downloads. I'm like, well, let's get to 1,000 first. Let's get like to 100 first. Like people set or like even in business, like I want to make $1 million. I'm like, well, let's get to like 50,000 first. Like people go so crazy with their goals and they fall short and they just beat themselves up.
So I've totally done that. I have big goals, like massive goals. And I think that's okay. But if I don't make them, I'm like, okay, whatever, on to the next, right? Like, don't hold on to it that much. Like, it's good to have like massive intentions in life, but just kind of hold it with a grain of salt at the same time. And that's like a seesaw. It's not easy to do. Like, put the energy there, but like, be on to the next thing.
I think it's good to have big goals. I think what people do is they just set the goal and then they don't set up the tactics to even
the backup.
They don't set up the things to reach the goal, right?
Everyone's got to have a backup.
Yeah.
You do a really good job, Michael, of doing little things for a short period of time. Like Michael will journal a minute a day, whereas I would be like, oh, if I'm in a journal, I need 15 minutes with a candle lit with a little bit of 528 frequency and maybe a diffuser going, and I'd love the window open if I'm being honest and everything to be quiet.
Well, I think it's like,
it's like
but
not
I
realistic.
love that. It's beautiful.
I think with routines, it's like when you set up these like gnarly chains, and if one of those pieces in the chain doesn't work, then
Right.
you shuts the whole, like, for example, like if you don't have the candle, then it's like, does it ruin the whole routine?
I
Then you're
mean,
screwed.
it's not the same, but
do you know,
I
do you
can
know
go.
what? You can visualize everything else.
You're right.
So visualization is the best thing that I've ever done. Ever. I sit with my meditation, I visualize everything. I mean, not everybody's visual. Some people are auditory, like some people like to talk, but for me, like I just sit and I visualize. Like on my way here, my Uber was like, well, every Uber cancelled.
Everyone
right?
was late, don't worry.
So it's like that. So I sat and I visualized like what this was going to be like. Literally, like us having the freaking best time of our life, you know, but you do that. You visualize what you want. And I think that, I mean, you can sit yourself, if you don't have anything, here's my candle, actually, I'm meditating right now on the most beautiful beach, and you're sitting in your living room, right? You're going to feel it. It's actually a fact, because I did a brain alpha training, and visualization, when you visualize something, it raises your alpha, your endorphins, and your happy feelings. So you don't even have to be somewhere to feel it.
A lot of people
Wow.
just have a hard time, I think, visualizing because they don't actually believe themselves, right? Like I can tell, like you believe, like when you visualize,
I got a good imagination.
no, but you believe that you're going to come here and have the greatest time. Like, I
Right.
think that's honestly like 95% of it. Like you can have the vision, but if you don't actually believe in yourself and
Yeah.
believe in your vision, then it's not going to do you any good.
That's why we do work, right?
Mhm.
That's why we sit and we put the work in and we do the self-work, the love. Like, it takes time.
Why do you think you have such a good attitude? Because you do. You have a
I've
great
put the
attitude.
work in.
What's the work? Tell us the work.
It's like, you know, there's days I wake up in a bad mood. Like, there's days that I'm stressed, but I've taught myself tools and I consistently work on it. And the happier that, like, the more I talk to myself with love and do the things that make me feel good and surround myself with people that are high vibration and cut the shit, right? That's a huge thing. Like, cut out what doesn't make you feel good in your life. Like, things become good, and the energy that you have surrounding your life in every which way just makes me positive.
There's a lot of people who are listening, Claire, that are feeling a lot of emotion right now with everything that's going on.
A lot.
How would you recommend? I've talked to you on the phone. You helped me postpartum.
Yeah.
How would you recommend that they process and reset?
First of all, write it out, because it's so hard to sit with so many thoughts and emotions in your head, because you send yourself crazy. You just go out of your mind thinking. You can talk to your friends a million times, but the best thing that I find is just brain dump. Get everything out, write out how you're feeling, cry while you write, let it go. Like, nobody else has to hear it. Every single thing you think about yourself, a situation, your fears, your worries, when you get them out, you can release it. Second, after you get it out, there's a couple of tips, you know. Think about the worst case scenario. Like, truly, what is the worst thing that could happen? What is your greatest fear? Write that out. Write out your biggest fear and then let that go. And then replace your biggest fear with what's the best case scenario. And then write that out. What does that look like? Like, forget about all the bad stuff, but what's the good stuff that could really happen? I know life's crap right now. Things aren't going right, but like, what could be great? What do we want? And then sit on that, right? Sit on it, manifest it, think about it. What actions can you do for that? The more you think about it, the more you leave yourself in a mental place thinking about that, the better you're going to feel. You've almost erased those negative emotions. You've got them out. You've got the worst case scenario, all your stress, all your worry. You've replaced it with the positive. So you're kind of rewiring your brain. You feel better because you've got it out, and then you move forward and you take some sort of an action.
If I walk into Michael's office tomorrow and he's playing sound bowls, crying it out over his journal, I might divorce him. But that's a great tip for me.
Listen, it might happen.
He's in pigeon pose.
Right,
He's
right,
naked.
right.
He's grounding his feet.
Right.
I was going to say one of the worst things that could happen is my wife could catch me playing sound bowls crying. So
Can I just tell you something though? You might cry.
Listen,
and I'm going to
to
tell you a story, because I have played sound bowls for a lot of people, myself included. And I have had, you know, something happen to me recently that was, a little traumatizing and scary. And I went to my sound bowls because I needed to get the emotion out. I couldn't cry, and I just played them, and I bawled my eyes out. They drew the emotion out. And a friend of mine, you know, who had lost someone recent, like close, you know, I played sound bowls for them, and the sound healing, and same thing, it releases emotions. They truly connect to your chakras, and it draws stuff out. And I also felt it. They are so powerful. So let me play them on him.
When you say you experienced trauma, do you mean like a death of a loved one? Do you mean like you had a hard day? What
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I had a rough day. I hit my head. So I've had a little bit of a history with concussion. So I had a kind of like scary sort of experience at work, and I hit my head quite hard. And that brings back like trauma from an accident I had. So it was all sort of built up. So I'm like, what can I do to help my healing? You know,
Did it actually you felt it release? That's funny, because when you were just playing the sound bowls, even though it was like a minute or two, I felt myself it does bring up
shifts.
Emotion.
Oh yeah, it does.
Which is the perfect segue for my next question. Every single night I've been playing Zaza 528 HZ frequency, which was recommended to me by Mimi Bogart, who came on the podcast. And they're also sleep frequencies. For some reason, I'm attracted to 528 because I guess it heals trauma and anxiety within the body. Are you a believer in those frequencies? And if you are, can you educate us? Because it's not really music, right?
So I'm learning, right? I'm always learning about that. I'm not as educated about the frequency specifically, but music is healing. 100% music is healing on every level. I'm just listening to right now an app, and it is music frequency waves, more sort of music that sounds like music, and it is tuned to alpha waves of your brain, and they're actually doing clinical studies that are proving that it is healing anxiety, it is healing the body. You know, people go into hospitals and play music for people when they're sick.
Yeah.
It truly, music will be classified as a medicine.
So if maybe you could go into the benefits of sound bowl healing. What are some, I bought a book on sound healing. I have not read it yet.
Right.
What are some...
Clearly.
So my girlfriend had a sore back the other day. I laid her on her stomach and I put the bowl on her lower back. And the big pink bowl, right? That one's Pachamama. It's a very deep sounding, heavy vibration. So I put the bowl on her back and I lightly dinged it. You know, you want to play with intention and like feel the bowl. So I was playing it, and the vibrations, you know, shift energy. So it'll shift a blockage in the body, whether it be a blockage in the muscles, a blockage in your chakra. It moves things about because we're all energy. Everything here is energy. So it was move that energy, and she felt a release in her back. She's like, my back feels better. I've done it on my stomach. You know, I ate something bad. I'm bloated. I'm gassy. I feel horrible. And I had my girlfriend. I'm like, can you play the bowl on my belly? I kid you not. I felt better. So
that does not surprise me after you just doing it. It's beautiful when you play it. You're lucky that I'm not at your house. I would be like, I broke a nail. I'm feeling tired.
Hey, we can do it over the phone.
Yeah, I'd be careful.
But if you don't have sound bowls, there's so many things you can listen to, right? And I listen to classical music. I love just regular classical. I grew up on it. I played piano when I was a kid for years, playing piano, guitar, clarinet, something I want to do again. Anything that you connect with. Everybody's so different. So like, Michael, you may hate sound bowls. They may irritate you. It's just not what you resonate
like the sound
with.
Boys. Sound bowls.
you
Didn't
like
what
sound
was it? We
bowls.
did the.
I'm gonna make you play them later.
Besides when I play them.
Well, I don't know if you can call what you do playing them, but more
What's the app? You mentioned an app earlier. What's
Sona. Sona.
Okay.
Yes.
So not Sonos. Sona.
No. Sona.
Got
yes. Sona. Music is medicine.
Got it.
It's very simple, and it's just got for energize, sleep, rest, relax. It's very simple, and they're working with Berkeley to actually, you know, it's going to be incredible. To heal.
I'm excited.
To heal the body.
The world needs that right now.
The world needs healing. All the people need healing. Like, everybody needs it. All of us.
People are more open to it after this too.
Yes.
Or some people aren't. It's almost like people went black or white.
That's the thing. And that's where the low vibrations are, the high vibrations. The people that are higher are open. They want to learn. It's like, we're coming together. What else can we do? How can we be better, help each other? And then there's people that are just like, bang, closed book.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
This is the perfect podcast to do this. And you're the perfect person. This is like the synergy of a lifetime. What is your perfect morning routine? You know, I ask this question to everyone, and I cannot wait to hear yours.
Yes. Perfect. In a dream world. Well, you know, I have all these funny little things that I'm doing with sleep now, too.
Tell us every little weird, creepy thing.
So I love to experiment. I'm like a guinea pig on myself. I'm experimenting with all these new things. So right now I'm taping my mouth when I sleep. Are you doing nose breathing? I am, because my teeth have gone out of line. My jaw's gone out of line. Dentist quoted me 25 grand. I'm like, there's got to be other ways. So I tape my mouth. I'm like, you should see me when I go to sleep now.
But are you getting deeper sleep?
Oh my goodness.
Will you post an Instagram story of this when this goes live of this?
Yeah, of course. Okay. I'll totally do it for you. So I am sleeping better because I would wake up 6-7 times a night, right? I'd wake up to pee. I'd wake up drooling on my pillow.
Can you tape your baby's mouth?
By the way, you probably should, because this is what's actually
Child
really
Protective Services.
Do you know why? This is what's actually really, I wouldn't say baby, but this is what's interesting about it. There's pictures, and I go in deep holes of research of kids that breathe through their mouth and kids that don't. And I saw a research study on twins, and one was a mouth breather and one wasn't, and the facial changes.
Well, I slept with my mouth open my whole life.
You're supposed
so
to.
I didn't used to. Yeah,
I had double jaw surgery.
There you go. So I was looking into it because my jaw totally changed, and it's starting to go back. I mean, I'm doing other things as well, but that is really like, I feel my teeth closing.
Let me ask you this: when you first started doing it,
I thought I was going to
die in your sleep, right?
For the first 5 minutes, I'm like, should I let someone know that I might not wake up? But your body won't let that happen. It naturally kicks
in and starts breathing through the nose,
100%.
Right?
Huh. So you feel better when you wake up?
I feel amazing because the oxygen's going to your brain, right? Then it's called nitric oxide is going to your brain instead of like out your mouth.
Have you ever crossed paths with Ben Greenfield? Have you ever?
No.
He wrote about it in his book.
He did.
He's come on.
What kind of tape? Because we can't be getting lines around the mouth.
No, I know, and I was a little concerned about this, but it's perfectly fine.
Okay.
So I just bought it on Amazon. I looked at the best rated review on Amazon. It's like a cross. It goes here, and put it together. It's comfortable.
Shit, I'm gonna fucking tape your mouth shut whenever you're annoying. I'm gonna get some
24/7.
Wrap it around your head.
I'm going to tape my ears shut. So
what happens at nighttime, your brain, it's called brainwashing, right? It's like your brain completely washes, heals. It's that time. And it's so important because think of like everyone's getting dementia, everyone's getting brain fog, all this sort of stuff. So that's number one thing I'm doing. Also just found this thing. It's a cap, EMF hat. So I'm now wearing it like a shower cap to bed. It's an EMF because
you got a headgear on.
Oh yeah, I'm going head to toe. I'm just trying it. Also post concussion, right? But think about, I'm living in a townhouse apartment / thing in a city. There is Wi-Fi. There are power lines. There's crap everywhere. It affects us. My girlfriend told me they just brought out a research study that those earpods are, they're not good for us. And I always said every time I wear the earpods, my right ear burns.
Same with me.
Yeah, my right ear, and my brain feels weird.
Same
so
with
I stopped wearing them. I wear the ones that you plug in.
I don't even love these, but go on.
These are good.
But I agree, right? We're going to see the effects of this stuff. So I sleep with this EMF thing. I'm sleeping like a cozy little baby now. So I have my mouth taped, cover my eyes because you should sleep in pitch black as well. I have my sonar, my white noise, either. And then when I wake up in the morning, first thing that I do, sunlight. So you want to open up your blinds. You want to get outside and get 10 minutes of sunlight because circadian rhythm, I don't know if you know about that, but you want to follow this system. Try to get up at the same time every day. Try to go to sleep. It's not really possible all the time, but if you can stick to it, it's so good for your health. It cures diseases. You feel like a different person. And I really have been trying to stick by it. Notice a difference. So get up, open up the blinds.
Have to pause. What's the brand of the EMF cap and what's the brand of your eye cover?
I'll get back to you on the
Okay.
EMF cap because my doctor gave it to me.
You have to tell us on
Yes,
Instagram
and
stories.
the eye mask, I just use either a silk one, a slip one, just something soft
Got
and
it.
comfortable, right? Like Slip has one, but whatever is comfy. I used to use the ones that had like the
No, that's
kinda
bad
like
for your eyes. Michael
Yeah.
does that. That gives you
I-
circles. You look like a fly.
I don't like that, so I just use something really
Okay,
soft.
Go ahead.
I'm on, just so you know, I'm on board with all these things you're saying. I don't think any of this sounds crazy, actually.
No,
thank
Michael's
you.
pretty open to
And
this.
sometimes when people come on here and say some wacky shit, and I'm
People,
like,
people are either going to think I'm batshit
but
crazy.
no,
or
I
not.
actually think that no. This so far, I'm
Okay,
fully
keep
on
going.
board.
Okay, so
specifics.
then I actually, I like to drink my water, but I don't want to drink my water before I've tongue scraped. That's actually the first thing I do.
I tongue scrape first thing in the morning
Yeah,
every day. Just
so
you
I
know,
take
buddy.
off my
If
tape.
you don't tongue scrape, go away. If everyone in the world needs to tongue scrape, I don't care. This is blanket advice. I never give blanket
Yeah.
advice. Get a fucking tongue scraper.
100%.
No one wants to smell your crusty ass tongue.
Yeah, but
from
why
1998.
Why wash down?
Scrape your tongue. Everyone. And don't scrape it with plastic. That's BPA. Get a
No.
copper. I like the one from Wellness by Katie from Wellness Mama. Scrape your tongue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm with you,
It's
girl.
public
I'm
service
with you.
announcement.
I literally open my blinds,
The producer's ordering one right now on Amazon.
open my blinds, scrape my tongue, and then I have my huge glass of water, like straight warm water. I put it next to my bed the night before, so it's there. Then go out, get some sun, and then I like to make my matcha. I have my matcha, and then I'll sit and meditate.
What's the brand of your matcha? How do you make it?
Yes. Well, there's a couple of matchas I like. I love Sun Life.
So
I
do
love
I.
their matcha. My girlfriend has a matcha, Shayna's matcha.
Love
as
her
well.
matcha.
Yeah.
I
it's
like her.
amazing.
She needs to come on too.
Yeah, she's great. So I make my matcha and then, start off journaling. So what are you grateful for? Think of that. Think of affirmations. I just sit or I'll free write. I kind of got into free writing that turned into like weird poetry during COVID. I'm like, this is fun. I don't know how it had happened. I just put my thoughts out. We got a little more, some of us got a little more creative.
Maybe it's a book, your second book.
I know. That'd be
What-
fun.
I've never asked anyone this.
Yes.
What are some gratefuls and affirmations? I know that's personal. If you will share some with us, I
Yeah.
feel like you're the perfect person.
What am I grateful for?
Yeah, give us examples of some gratefuls.
okay,
How
grateful.
specific are you going? Or is it broad? Is it
No,
narrow?
so it's different every single day. It's different depending on what's going on in my life. It can be as simple as I'm so grateful to have this comfortable, safe bed with these soft sheets, in a home that keeps me safe. It can be something as simple as that. Or I'm so grateful to be sitting here today with Lauren and Michael, right? Coming to Austin, experience something new, being able to share like my love and passion. Like that's what I'll be writing about tonight. Like that's what I'm really freaking grateful for right now, to have this voice. It can be, I'm really grateful for my friends, my family. Like they are my rock. I couldn't do it without them. I'm really grateful for the smoothie I had this morning. It was bomb. Like it can be that simple. Affirmations. Like I love myself. I'm proud of myself. Today, I am a strong woman. I'm confident. I believe in my values and power to do the best I can in this world.
I just want to show the audience this
Yeah.
because sometimes people get overwhelmed with that.
Simple.
And I think
I
it's
am
helpful.
kind. I am loving. Affirmations of things that you feel about yourself or things that you want to feel about yourself, and maybe you're working on it. Maybe you don't truly know how to love yourself, but the more you say it, the more you tell yourself, then you will.
Do you look at your phone in the morning?
I try not to,
Okay.
but yeah, a lot I do.
That's honest.
Yeah.
And so
and
after
I feel
you
better when I don't. I got to
Okay.
be honest
well,
with you.
I mean, either way,
You
whatever.
have
Yeah.
a big hang up about looking at the phone in
Huge
the morning.
hang-up.
But here's the thing, though. I think because
Huge hang up.
I think
No,
it
because
depends.
especially
I sleep
with
on
you.
airplane mode. I sleep on airplane.
He wakes
but-
up and he's like, my eyes hurt. And I'm like, well, when you wake up like this with your fucking nose in the keyboard with Twitter, like, yeah, your eyes are going to hurt.
It's actually not a bad thing to look at that blue light in the morning. because
I'm
it
going to
kicks-
go outside with Claire.
Well, hold on. It kicks your circadian rhythm into. You don't want to do it at night, but in the morning, if you
I
look
think
at it, it
sunlight's
actually
better.
sunlight.
You look at Twitter, I'll scrape my tongue.
Sunlight is better, but if you need to, like say you need to wake yourself up, it actually will. Kick it
Right,
in.
because if we're in, UK or somewhere that it's really really, really dark in the morning, you know,
Or if you
you
get up
have
super
to
early.
use the fake light. You know, they have these lights that you can wake you up. I've been researching all this sort of stuff. So honestly, I look at my phone because that's where my alarm is. I need to get an alarm, one of those alarms that is separate to the phone, because I actually don't want my phone in my room anymore.
The only reason I bring the phone up, Lauren, is because we've had so many people on, and some people swear by not doing it, and some people don't mind.
It's whatever.
I
works
think
for
it's
you.
the people that have the relationship with the phone where they look at it and it triggers something in, or it makes them feel like they have to respond to an ask. Those people should not look at the phone. But if you can look at it and unobjectively just be like, whatever, I'm looking at my phone, I don't think
I
it matters.
You
associate my
have to
phone
get
with work.
disconnected to having to respond to people
Sure.
right away and letting it kind of annoy you, right? Because I used to open my phone and I'd see emails, work emails, and it just tipped me over the edge. And I'm just like, if I look, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
See,
but I can leave that for later because I've got stuff to do first.
I had almost 800 unread text messages the other day.
I have about 80,000 emails. I'm that person.
Not good. And so the way I went about it, because like Lauren was like, I was stressing about it. So the way I went about it is I went and scrolled all my text messages and delete all 800. I have no idea what any
You
of them
know what
said.
I did?
Oh, wow. That's
This
a
is-
boss
No
move.
idea.
No, this is a better hack than Michael.
And I figured that if they're important, they'll somehow get back to me somehow.
I changed my phone number a month ago.
You did?
I decided I had my phone number since.
Yeah, but that's not even. So you still.
Excuse me. You should get on board with this.
I don't need to. I just
I've
do
had-
the mass delete.
The same number since 6th grade. I don't need to hear from Nancy in 2nd grade asking me to like post her cousin's
Oh, my gosh.
like whatever. So I decided that I needed to clear my space and be intentional with who I gave my number to.
Yeah.
So I reached out to about 50 of my close friends and family. I was like, here's my number. And then like it's situational. Like if I run into a friend that I haven't seen and I'm like, oh, I need to give my number, or a work friend or something, I will be intentional about giving out my number.
Here's the way I look at the phone and all the messages and emails. I honestly really feel this, because I know it sounds crazy. I just deleted all. I really did delete those messages. But I figure if it actually really is important or something that I need to pay attention to,
100%.
somehow it'll manifest up, or somehow it'll get to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if it's just like, hey, you know, what are you up to? Or like, that's not that big of a deal,
I agree.
right?
Did we hit your morning routine?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
we're-
I
we're-
felt
We're
like,
still going.
We're in the first
hold
inning
on.
here.
Okay, I want you to finish. Go ahead.
Okay, so morning routine. Where did we get to? We did the journaling. Definitely, you know, sitting with my matcha or my coffee, by the way, because I love super coffee as well. So it'll be one of the other. I didn't used to drink coffee, and now I do. So I'm back on the like, and also not fully plant-based, like mixing up the diet
Were
a
you
lot.
plant-based?
I was for a
Yeah,
long
okay.
time. Yeah, I think just intuitively listening to everything a little more now. So, you know, sitting, meditating, like giving myself the time, playing my sound bowls. Meditation is different every day. Maybe it's sitting. Maybe it is playing the bowls. Maybe it's more of a moving meditation, stretching. I love to walk. So getting outside and walking, that'd be like absolute morning routine. Whether it's around the block or up hiking, I love to move my body. It doesn't have to be a workout. I'm not that into workouts. I like more gentle things the older I get. I like to be kinder on my body. You know, I've spent so many years being hard, lifting weights, trying to keep up with the boys, keep up with all these classes. My body just doesn't like it. So I think the softer, kinder I am, the happier I am.
You kind of gave us a peek at this, but what's your nighttime wind down? Like what time do you put the phone away and say it's time to wind down and this is how I'm going to do it?
Yeah, it's different all the time. I mean, I'm trying to do a hard cut off with work. When you work for yourself, you know, you kind of, I didn't have limits. I'd be up until 2 a.m. and then I just find myself switched on all the time, and then you can't sleep. So I'm like, I have to try to cut off by 5 or 6 with work stuff and keep normal people at like regular work job hours, and enjoy off time. I think it's so important to switch off, and I was so guilty of not doing it for so long. So do that. You know, I love to cook. I think at home, making my own food, it's so much better. It's so much fun having people over, doing that, and then just winding down with like tea. I don't like to watch TV, so I just kind of hang out. I love peace and quiet so much. Like,
Don't come to my house.
no,
Don't come to my
I
house.
love loudness with friends, like hanging out with friends, but I'm not like,
Lauren, you're the loudest one in the house.
No, I'm not.
we'll
Yes,
balance each other.
I
But
know,
sometimes I
Christmas
just
self-aware
chill.
course.
You know, sometimes I just chill, and like I like to potter. I potter around. So like maybe I'll run a bath, just relax and like early to bed.
That
Catch up
sounds
on sleep.
amazing. I'm going to
Yeah.
come stay with you at your house one day.
But
and
it
just
does.
wake
dude,
up really
have a-
quick.
What was our morning routine this morning? The baby
Let me
screamed.
tell you my morning routine. She woke up at 3:30.
I'm a baby whisperer, by the way, guys. I used to be a school
Oh,
teacher.
good. We have a guest room. We
I
can
was-
put the baby to
You
bed.
want, can I bring her over
She's
to your house
killing
all
me.
night? She woke us up at 3:30, then 4:30, then 5:30. When she fell off the bed because I moved to the guest room because I couldn't take it anymore, she cut her lip open. They stormed in my
no.
room at 6:30.
I stormed into my underpants with a bleeding baby, not knowing what to do. The dog's screeching and yelling at me.
Then you
Lauren tells
turned
me to
on
get out. I'm
Bluey.
running around.
By the way, that's real life, guys.
I didn't know what to
Lauren,
do.
you
I threw the Grinch on. I was like, the Grinch will just watch the
will
Grinch.
fix the Grinch.
The Grinch in Russia, Russian, because we don't even know like what language she's listening to it.
Lauren, come to my house. I just had a bunch of girlfriends staying at my house because everyone's moving out of LA and to all other places. So they were taking turns at staying at my house, transitioning on the move. They're like, it's like a mini spa here. So come and stay at Claire's mini spa.
Baby was bleeding everywhere, but I said, hold on, I got a tongue
You
scrape
should have
real quick.
you should have had the
So I was
tape.
like,
Your
just- I
tongue
was
scrape.
like- I was like,
if you
I was
had
like,
my
quit
mouth
crying,
tape,
Daddy's
we
got
could
a
have
tongue
picked her up.
scrape.
Did you actually tongue scrape?
Yeah, I was like, hey, go over there, bleed in the corner for a minute. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Speaking of, she was bleeding today. I need to get her a tongue scraper for herself.
Oh my
They
God!
probably have
You know
baby-
what? I missed
We
those
need to get her a
mornings.
baby yoga mat. I'm going to send you that for Christmas.
Oh,
They
my
have baby yoga
God.
mats.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start her young.
I will start her young. I reached out to you at a time in my life where I was like literally 50 pounds overweight after having Zaza. I was so uncomfortable in my skin. I was like gonna crawl out of my body and I did not know what to do. And I reached out to you and I was like, please help me. And you gave me a lot of tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Some that I still do. I'm drinking matcha right now. I
Yeah.
never had drank matcha before
Right.
talking to you. I would love for you to speak on food
Yes.
and the relationship that food that you have with food,
Yeah.
but also like what you eat, what your snacks are, what you're pulling for at lunch. I want to know like all the little details with that.
Yeah. So it's changed a lot. You know, I still believe I said to you, we followed your blood type diet. And I still really believe in that. I think everybody is so different. There's not and I put this in commas, diet, because I don't believe in diets, right? There's not one sort of rule, routine that anybody should follow. I think you need to be more intuitive. If you get tested for your allergies, things that inflame you, that's the number one thing. If you can do that, I think it's really important. I do think that the blood type diet is really interesting and I follow that myself and with a lot of clients. So for example, your blood type.
We're the same blood type, so that's why I'm interested to hear.
You were B.
I
No,
was
we're
O.
Oh, you were O. That's right.
Yeah.
You were O. Okay. So you predominantly needed to eat meat.
Yes.
Yes. Cut out gluten. No coffee.
Yeah, you helped me cut out gluten.
Yeah.
I forgot about that too. I've been really careful with gluten
Still,
since talking to you.
you look amazing.
I still have 10 pounds, but I'm almost there.
You look amazing. And you've got it, you know, with pregnancy as well. It's hormones. There's so many things that your body is balancing out. It takes time. And it's especially with women, you know, we go through so many changes. Like I'm 40 next year. So it's like everything changes.
You look young. So what are some healthy things that you reach for?
Real food.
Like
It's
give
like
us
straight
examples.
up real food. I love fruit. I could eat fruit breakfast, lunch, dinner all day.
Okay.
I'll eat it before I go to bed. Everyone says don't eat fruit late in the day. I love fruit. I think it's great. It processes easy in the body. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you're eating real food, whole food, organic, right? Where you can get organic, it's better. Obviously, it's more expensive. Just try to get good produce. If you can put something on the bench and it's going to go off, you know that it's good for you. It's like the hunter-gatherer, right? Try to eat less processed foods, less things out of a box. If that's the only thing that you do, it's the best thing. You know, I try to stay away from fried foods. For me, salt, because I have autoimmune, I really try to reduce my salt. And then just gluten. Gluten for a lot of people is a killer these days. You know, we all have gut issues. So many people are finding that they have gut health issues. Gut's your second brain. We want to protect our gut, protect our brain. So stay away from gluten. Watch where your food is coming from. But if I want snacks, you know, I'm always going for fruit. I'll make a healthy smoothie. I love my sweet treats. So I'll find these places, you know, that have healthy treats. Like I'm not giving up my sugar. I still like it, but it's not white sugar. You know, it's dates, it's coconut sugar. It's healthier options. You've still got to enjoy life. I was just in Europe on the summer. I got to tell you, I ate everything. Pasta, pizza,
Same, that's
I
what
had a
happened.
burger,
So
like
easy.
a great time, but the produce is different.
Right.
And I was fine. And I didn't put on a pound. Like my gut was fine, but I can't eat that way in America. I have to be kept more aware of what I'm eating because of the way that things are made here.
Can you maybe walk us through a day of your eating?
Yeah.
Like from breakfast to dinner, maybe you're having a glass of wine that night. Walk us through.
Yeah. So I wake up in the morning, I have my water, my matcha. I have probably like 3 matchas a day because I love it. I know, have some matcha. Breakfast, I tend to eat later because I just generally don't feel good at eating in the morning. So I intermittent fast on and off. But lately, you know, if I'm hungry, I'll eat. I'm just being intuitive. If one morning, you know, say I'm getting my period, I'll be hungry, I'll just eat breakfast earlier. So I usually will have either a big bowl of fruit because it feels good for breakfast, smoothie, green smoothie. I've been having less smoothies because it's cold. So I'm trying to eat more in season. I'm obsessed with oatmeal right now. The fiber really helps you like going to the bathroom as well. So I'm eating a lot of oatmeal. I'll put some peanut butter on top of it. Almond butter on top of it. Blueberries. So that's my sort of late morning. Lunch, I love salads. But also, you know, when it's cold, I try to put warmer things in them. So I'll put squash in it, quinoa, avocado, things like that. Dinner, I've been eating more fish because my body's craving a little more protein. So I might have a piece of salmon, white fish, and then my veggies. So I'm sticking to veggies that are not bloating. So I'm having bok choy, spinach, lots of squashes, pumpkins, sweet potato, all of that sort of stuff. And then rice, grains, I love.
What's your cocktail of
Sushi.
choice?
Oh, margarita.
Margarita.
All day, every day.
Same with me.
Margarita. Hold the salt.
Okay. I just discovered this hack that I feel like you're going to love.
Tell me.
Did you know that you can cook? This is an ad. This sounds like an ad. Did you know that you can cook oatmeal in a rice cooker?
No.
I have my rice cooker out. I put a
You can cook like porridge and stuff. That's the same thing.
cup of oatmeal, a cup of water, blueberries, a chopped up apple, cinnamon. Let it sit for 10 minutes.
Get out of
Chia
town.
seed. It's cooked and ready when I come downstairs.
I'm coming over for
And
breakfast.
my rice warmer just stays warm. So you could do it at night. And it's just a warm oatmeal that I can feed the baby.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's my one hack of the podcast.
That sounds amazing.
Where can everyone find you? Pimp Yourself Out.
Yes.
Tell us about your book. I read your book. I'm a huge fan.
thank you.
Tell us all the things you have going on.
So you can find me Instagram, Claire_Grieve, Grieve. And you can join me for on-demand workouts now because I was, you know, working with private clients for so long, which I loved. But especially during COVID, you know, everything shifted. And I also wanted to be able to reach more people. It's fun doing one-on-one, but I want everyone to benefit from yoga, meditation, being able to cook healthy. So I created an online platform called Eve by Claire Grieve. And it's everything I do all day, every day. All of my yoga, Pilates, some really fun recipes, yummy recipes on there. My sound bowls, plenty of sound bowls, meditations. So that is watchclaregrieve.com. You can find all of my classes there. Sign up for a year. Actually, I was going to say we should give away a bunch of memberships.
Can we do that? Yeah.
I'd love
Okay,
to
you
do
tell
that.
us how many.
Let's do 22 because we're going into 2022. And I
See,
think
I knew
everyone
you'd
should
have some number energy.
I think that everybody should be inspired to like get healthy for the new year. We're going into the new, well, it'll probably
Very
be the
nice.
new year by the time we do it.
all you
No?
have to do is follow at Claire Grieve.
Yeah.
You told us how to spell it on Instagram and tell us your favorite part of this episode on my latest post at Lauren Bostick. That's very, very nice of you.
My pleasure.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to consume your online platform. I know I'm going to be a huge fan. I love
Thank
your content.
you.
I think you're such a fresh perspective and exactly what the internet needs right now.
Love you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Michael met you in Switzerland for the first time
Oh,
in
yeah.
person. It's so cool
It's
to
been a
be
long
in
time.
studio.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes.
And we need to get you guys out to one of the retreats as well.
Yes.
Wait,
Tell
You've made some commitments here. You said you're going to come. You're going to put the baby to sleep. So we
Yes.
got that together.
I'm telling you, I'm
We're gonna,
really good with children. I have this.
do you want to breastfeed her and put her to bed and wake her up?
You're
and
gonna
I
play
mean,
the.
I'll
You're
do-
gonna
I'll
teach
do
my
my
wife
best.
how
Pray
to
for
play
tongue.
the bowls so that she doesn't rattle my brain around and does it the right
Do
way.
you know the bowls? I work with my clients. it helps to calm the kids. You
Oh
should
yeah,
play them.
I do one hit and she stops.
She's like,
You
"What's
should have
this?"
done that this morning when she
Well,
was
it's
crying.
jarring. Everyone stops. Everyone says go. It's like,
No.
That is not true.
Truly, I should come over and play the bowls.
well, just don't come over when I'm upstairs crying and journaling and playing on myself. I need that. That's my time. You know?
You've given us so many tips
Thank
and tricks.
you.
You guys also check out her retreat.
Yes.
Is it on your site?
Yes, yeah, I'm going to put everything on the site. We have a lot of amazing retreats coming up this year. Hawaii, Jumbie Bay. I'm going to be doing projects in Europe, getting everyone together, creating bespoke, really amazing, fun wellness, beautiful places, safe spaces to travel, private islands, gorgeous locations where we're doing yoga, blindfolded yoga. So if you imagine putting a blindfold on, getting on the ground, taking away your sight, really connecting to your body again. Sound bowls, under the stars, purely magic. Incorporating CBD into our cocktails. You would love that, Lauren.
That sounds
Yeah.
amazing. That
So
sounds really relaxing.
Really cool, different, curated experiences.
I might
So-
get more on board with yoga if everyone around me wore a blindfold, so they don't have to see me.
Then no one can see
yeah,
you,
yeah,
right?
You'd
that's my
actually
big
like that.
hang up.
You guys, Claire is also on the blog, The Skinny Confidential. She's been on, I think, multiple times, and she is in my book, Get the Fuck Out of the Sun. I really
Love.
respect her as a content creator. Go check her out.
Aw,
Thank
love
you
you.
for
Thanks,
coming
Claire.
on.
Love
Come back
you guys.
anytime.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor. I admire you. Mwah.